This bird was about to turn a man's life upside down. He discovered the infant creature in the strangest of places, and when the man who found it brought it to his local veterinarian, things really got crazy, because when the vet realized what was in front of him, he was astonished. But before we start, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. After a few minutes of following the sound through his garden, it led him to a small opening under his porch. The surface leading to his front door was about 3 feet above the ground, and there was a long, shallow space underneath it. Martin bent down and stuck his head into the dark, damp space under his porch. "There's something there. What is that?" Martin saw a small object, then something moving curiously. The man crawled inside until he finally reached what he was looking for. "What is that?" This wasn't an ordinary bird from his garden. It was something strange, and Martin knew it. He wanted to know more, but he didn't want to interfere too much. Martin placed the entire nest with the baby bird in the middle of his garden and took his place behind the kitchen window, where he could see the songbird perfectly. There, he waited for the baby bird's mother to return, but after 4 hours of waiting, no adult bird came to feed it. In the end, Martin gave up and took the animal inside. He could see that it was hungry, so he fed it some worms he had caught. Then, something else strange happened. Did he twist her ankle? Martin felt pain seeing the poor animal struggling to walk, so he decided to ask for help. The worried man called his local veterinarian and asked if he could come for a quick checkup. Martin drove the animal to the veterinarian's clinic in a box on the passenger seat. As soon as he arrived at the clinic, the veterinarian greeted him personally. Martin placed the box containing the bird on the veterinarian's table. And that's when the drama began. The veterinarian walked around the strange bird several times taking notes. He was calm in the first few minutes, then he started muttering words to himself. A twisted ankle, unusual characteristics. The veterinarian made a splint for the bird's leg, but it was clear to Martin that the veterinarian's mind was occupied with other thoughts. The veterinarian didn't seem confident. "This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this before." These were some of the words that came out of the veterinarian's mouth. After that, the astonished veterinarian went to his office to turn on the computer. Martin was still in the dark, but he tried to find clues by watching the veterinarian's screen. After about a minute, Martin saw multiple pictures of a large bird appear on the screen. The animal looked strange, but oddly familiar when looking at the baby bird in front of him. Was this animal in its adult stage? The creature looked frightening, which made Martin feel a little scared. Then the veterinarian turned in his chair and said, "You won't believe this, but this animal shouldn't exist. I am in complete shock from this discovery." Then the veterinarian explained that this particular bird had been recorded as extinct in all global databases for more than 20 years. Martin couldn't believe it, but according to the veterinarian, it was true. He reviewed the animal's unique features and confirmed they were authentic. "Where did you say you found it? Under your balcony?" Did Martin nod? But that wasn't the last question. If Martin found the baby bird, then where was the mother? The veterinarian answered many of Martin's questions, but he also added some troubling pieces to the puzzle. If this bird was known as an extinct species, then this baby and its family might be the last members of this species on the entire planet. This was both amazing and frightening at the same time. The baby bird remained eerily calm, and that wasn't without reason, but we'll find out the reason later. Meanwhile, the car arrived at Martin's pass once again, and the two men got out to search for this extremely rare bird. When they arrived at the balcony where this adventure began, a woman was waiting for them. Martin was confused when he saw her, but the veterinarian assured Martin that she was very much needed in this situation. While closing the clinic, the veterinarian called an expert to help her. Her name was Melissa Brown, and she was one of the leading bird experts in the state. If there was anyone who knew anything about native birds, she would be the right person. The three of them walked to the edge of the balcony, where the small opening was 3 feet high. Martin said, pointing to the dark hole, "This is where I saw her, all the way in the back." Melissa explained to the two men that this type of bird lays only one egg at a time. It was already rare 20 years ago, and with so few eggs hatching each season, its extinction was imminent. But somehow, this bird survived. That was amazing. There was just one problem. In the case of this rare bird, the mother rarely leaves her chick, so finding this baby bird here alone was not a good sign. Usually the father goes out to hunt while the mother constantly stays with her chick. Martin explained that he waited for 4 hours without seeing the mother. Melissa said, "This is not good. Usually the mother always returns to her chick, so the fact that this didn't happen means that something was preventing her." But what is it? I explained again that this bird family needs protection because they might be the last of their kind. Martin was excited and a little nervous because the claw marks were huge. They had to go now. Martin wanted to put the baby birds safely inside, but the veterinarian told him not to do that. He said they might need the baby bird's call to attract the mother. Martin agreed and held the box close to his chest. As they followed the trail away from his garden, the path led them into the forest, where the baby bird's call echoed among the trees. After about half an hour of walking and trying to follow the trail, something happened suddenly. The baby bird let out a loud chirp, and this time there was a response, but the sound was much deeper. Without saying another word, the three of them crawled through an open patch of the forest, trying to avoid the branches on the ground. Melissa reached out her hand, signaling that Martin should give her the box containing the bird. Martin obeyed and placed the baby bird in the middle of the ground. Now they were waiting. It seemed that the baby bird recognized its mother because its chirping grew louder. It called out to attract attention, and soon the large shadow that flew above quickly descended and landed on the ground beside it. The bird was huge, the largest bird Martin had ever seen, and that included his visits to zoos. Why did the mother leave her little bird like that? And why did the baby bird trust people so easily? But suddenly they saw the expert approaching. "What are you doing?" Martin and the veterinarian whispered. Melissa asked them to trust her as she approached the two birds. Martin and the veterinarian didn't understand what was happening, but it seemed that the expert had noticed something different. Her confidence had changed, as if she had discovered new information. But what was it? Martin and the veterinarian watched carefully as Melissa walked quietly toward the two birds. In the end, she stood right next to them. For some reason, the mother and her chick remained completely calm. It was a strange sight, and it was about to get even stranger. Melissa smiled and asked the two men to come out of their hiding place and join her. Martin looked at the woman, confused, and asked her to give the bad news first. She said, "This bird is not the extinct species we thought we had found today, so unfortunately we failed in that mission. But that doesn't mean these creatures aren't special." Martin saw how the woman was gently brushing the bird's feathers. She explained that this was a very special kind of bird, called the harpy eagle. It was one of the largest types of eagles, and it was still rare, especially this particular bird. Melissa showed them the color of the feathers and said that there are only about 1,000 of them left on Earth. "But how were you able to touch it?" Melissa smiled and said that the harpy eagle is one of the smartest birds on the planet. She explained that they are known for trusting humans and being friendly towards them. She also admitted that their appearance is very similar to the extinct animal, and that it even fooled her too. There was one strange thing though. The harpy eagle was not native to this area, so seeing it here was strange. Maybe they were the first of their kind to settle in this forest. The expert explained that abandoning the chick might have been due to the baby bird being injured, and the trust these birds have in humans. The eagle believes that a human can help its chick better than it can. These birds were beautiful, compassionate, and most importantly, extremely intelligent. And somehow, the mother's plan worked brilliantly. The chick was bandaged and felt much better than before. Also, Martin discovered a new appreciation for nature and this type of bird. After a moment, the father arrived. The three of them stepped back and watched the loving scene unfold before them in admiration. The parents gently stroked the baby bird before lifting it off the ground and carrying it to a nearby tree. Martin felt a warm feeling rising inside him. "This was an amazing journey. Thank you."